welcome down to Devon Koi Pond. And look at it, sun out again, sunny Devon, can't beat it. Fish are happy, covers are off, water temps up, around 10.5 degrees. Fantastic, seen it up over 11 this week. Absolutely beautiful. Summer's coming, so soon be time to get getting those covers off. The blanket weed down here, well, I'll show you in a minute. Looks like it's dying back a bit. It's been just over a week now since I did the treatment with the Resolve. The Easy Pods have been choking up with it, so I gather it's actually been dying off and coming out in the water and then being pulled out by the filters. If you haven't already, hit the like and subscribe down here, always appreciated. I've got a little job on today. I'll put the camera up over there and show you what I'm going to do in a minute. I need to give the veg filter a bit of a vacuum out. Got some sediment in there, vacuumed it 2 or 3 times through the winter, but I actually use the veg filter as my final filter for getting rid of the fines. There's about 300 gallons in it, so the water takes a fair time to travel through that, and during that time it gets a chance for the fines to settle out. But I'll pop you over a minute and we'll have a quick look in there. So here you are, as you can see in the veg filter. Got some, well, it looks like moss growing on top of the water. The grass over there's died right off once cutting about. The same with the monkey face over there. That wants all the dead stuff cutting off it. But this is what I use for my final filtration. This gets rid of the fines in my water down here. I've got a nice 300 gallon tank on the end of your system here like this. The water takes its time to travel through it. By the time it gets over to the outlets, the majority of the fines are settled out. So I'm going to get in here and give this a bit of a chopping around a minute and a clean up. But before I do, I'm going to stick some filter floss over the outlets down here, because I'll end up stirring it up and don't want that going back into the pond. You can see my baskets of alpha grog here. I've going to add to those this year, even more in there. They've just been sitting in there through the winter. I'll move the grog around as the spring comes on, put some air stones in amongst it. I want to add at least another 8 baskets of it in there to increase the bio, and that can just sit in the bottom of here as well. As long as it's got water flowing around it, it's giving good surface area and plenty for the good bacteria to grow on. Right, without any further ado, I'll stop the video a minute. You don't want to see me cleaning this out, so I'll get in and give this a good chopping around, and then we'll pick up after we've done that. I've had a couple of people ask me how the solar's doing. Well, through the winter I had 2 power cuts here. One was only 5 minutes, but the power was off for a couple of hours, which I managed to come out and switch the pond over onto the batteries through the inverter here. That powered the pond for a couple of hours while the power was off, which was very nice. Also managed to run an extension lead indoors and plug a light in. It was early evening, about 7 o'clock, but of course winter, it was pitch black. I've made a couple of little changes here now. It charges the batteries and goes through the grid tie inverter as well, so powers back into the mains once the batteries are charged up. Friends sorted me out with some new lights in the workshop. They're very nice. They're also 12 volt, 60 watt a piece, so that takes care of solar lighting in the workshop, saves more on the electric. On the pay into the grid by cheat here, I've actually put in £50 and 93 pence back into my power here, so I've saved that. It isn't 12 months it's been running through that. It'll be 12 months, getting on for the end of April, around April 24th, 25th. I'll take a full reading off it, and that'll tell me actually how much cash I've saved in the 12 months on going into that. plus whatever power in the pond as well, because I've flattened the batteries out several times and then recharged them while this has been going on as well. Keep the batteries cycled kind of thing. I've flattened them right down, running the pond for 2 or 3 hours on it, and then recharge the batteries. But on that little gizmo there is exactly what I've put back in to my ring here, so that's what I've saved. So that's a little update on that to anyone that's shown a bit of interest in it. I know there was a couple of you out there wanting to know, but friends sorted me out with these 24 volt strip lights, 12 volt strip lights, and I've rewired the lighting ring here. It's also going to sort me out with a switching point, so that if the power actually goes down, I lose mains power, the grid tie inverter will automatically switch on and power the pond. I've taken a separate supply out to the pond, and on that supply I'm running just a bottom drain pump and one air pump. That supply is going to wire into a box for me and sort it out, so that if the power goes out, it automatically comes on, which will be very nice, because we do get power cuts down here. I'm in a small town here, but quite common for us to have power cuts here, 3 or 4 a year usually. Normally they're only a few minutes, but back in the winter, like I said, we did a one that was 2 hours long, very inconvenient. But there, that's a little update on that for everybody that's shown interest in that. So here we are. I've trimmed the plants back. I'm just about to vacuum the bottom out in a minute, but you don't need to see that. So if you look in the back corner here though, that big black tub under the grass, that's full of alpha grog. I've also got air stones in that. Now that circulates, turns the water over in that one. I'm hoping you can see the sediment on the bottom here. I've got a bust open plant pot here, in fact they're all blowing open. I'm not ready to repot this time of year. I'll get the vac in here, get all these stones, loose stones and bits out the bottom. But I just put a bit of filter coat over the return there while I'm doing that as well. I've left the green moss growing in there. Got to be feeding on something. So I'll get the vac out and go over that. So that's this little job. Also, while I was doing that, I set both easy pods up to boil. So they boiled and are back and running. Got them going up to about 8,000 litres. Just on the bottom drain, I haven't got the skimmer going at the moment. But it'll be time to start turning the speeds up soon to where I've got them at the moment. I normally run it a bit lower through the winter, but we'll be turning the speeds up to get the bio to start to grow as the temperature rises. So, 2 pods. Water being strained through 2 sets of K1 media. Now, that works for me, along with the moving beds and then the sediment tank on the end. What I'm going to change this year, I still don't know. If anything, I might try something down in the vortex. I don't know. But let's put you back on the tripod. Fish are all well happy. Certainly enjoying the day. Temperature showing 10.5, 14 in the air, 10.6 on the water, 10.5. Pretty good. Just topping back up with a bit of water now. Slow feed. It'll take a couple of hours to fill back up what I've lost from the 2 easy pods and the vortex. Now, the blanket weed. Well, I'm hoping you can see this in the vortex. Certainly died back. I haven't brushed it or anything like that. But there, it's certainly died back. It's going to be time to get the answer back on that end, but that'll be definitely after I've got rid of the blanket weed. Right, I'll pop you up on the tripod so I can say bye and have a talk about the competition that I'm going to do in a week or a couple of weeks time. So let's pop you on the tripod. So, hope you're all enjoying your ponding as we come back into the summer. As you can see, I'm definitely going to enjoy it down here. Really nice, have a bit of open covers again, the fish eating a bit of food. Please remember, don't overfeed your fish, certainly not this time of year. Wheat germ food only, and just what they'll eat in the time you can get it on the surface. And at that, keep a severe eye on your water parameters, okay? Test your water weekly as soon as you start feeding again. Keep on top of the tests, because it can go pear-shaped very quick when you've got very little biomass in your filters, which if you haven't been heating, they'll take weeks to kick into the summer mode. It's a slow ramp up to the maximum feeding in the summer, which down here usually takes about 4, 5, 6 weeks kind of thing, and I can just ramp it up to the amount of food that they need to get them through the summer, pack on some weight to keep them through next winter. But we'll go into that in another video. So, hope you've enjoyed this little segment. We'll be catching up with some stuff next time round. I'm also going to do a competition in the next video. I won't mention it on the video, so those that are jumping into it won't know that there's a competition going on. But I will slip a competition in there. I won't advertise it as a competition on it, so it'll be for the regular people that watch. We'll catch you in on that. I'm going to be giving away one of the koi plaques with a temperature gauge in it, 2 of the small plaques, and I've also got first aid kit as well, NT Labs one that'll see you through the summer, hopefully. So I'll be giving that away in the next video. But from down here in sunny Devon for this week, it's absolutely gorgeous. Going to sit down here for a bit, maybe open something a little bit alcoholic, who knows. I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye for now.